Welcome to the next video in our Raspberry Pi Pico temperature probe series. In this video, we're going to take what we have done with the temperature probe and the data from that temperature probe and converting it into data that can be displayed on this 8-segment display. So since our last video, things I've done is I've tidied up some of the wiring. I've gotten away from using the flexible jumper wires that I was using, and what I started using were pre-cut wiring that I have from kits. So not the best job. This is still just a temporary breadboard situation, but I did wire in all 4 of the 74 HC195s and to the 8-segment displays, and I've also went through and found out what the values that we're going to need to use for the C for Celsius or centigrade and F for Fahrenheit to use the 2 different temperature scales. It's going to be one or the other. I was just displaying it on to show that all 4 are working. Other things, while wiring it, I did this is a little bright, so let me just reduce this to all zeros or no value. So this resistor here is a replacement. I ended up miswiring some of these, and I ended up burning out the resistor there. Similarly, I had a problem with this display, but that was more of wire here wasn't connected correctly. I'm still not able to correct that issue. I'm still playing around with getting the decimal points to display correctly. So now with this, the rest of this video is mainly going to be code converting essentially a 3-digit integer into 3 individual values, so we can display it on each of these 8-segment displays. So from there, the next video will be gluing everything together for the 3 different modules that we're making in MicroPython. The temperature probe module, gluing it with the number conversion module that we will be doing in this video to the 8-segment displays. So from there, we'll go on and keep on improving this, but I'll discuss that at the end of the video. Right now, let's get to the code. Okay, so here we are in our shell connected to the Raspberry Pi Pico. First, I want to show you some changes I made to seg.py, and let me go to /pyboard. Okay, so it's made a revision to revision 4, and the changes I did make, I still haven't corrected these and added these pins. I've just been using the direct number of pins here, the 12, 13, 14, 14, 9, and 10. So those are still just manually entered. And MicroPython doesn't use constants, so those numbers could always be changed later. So I'm just leaving it for now. Set them all to off initially. That's still the same. Now here's where I made the changes. I corrected the binary, which wasn't much of a change to the code itself, but I changed the binary to correspond with the individual the number values in case anyone wanted to do it based on the binary value, and 128 is the decimal point. And for number 5, I think in the previous videos, I kept typing 155 and wondering why it wasn't correct. Okay, so then the other thing I added was just comments with the values for C and F, which again may add it to a function, but probably will just fill that in. And no other changes. I still need to make a change here to try to get the decimal point, but as you'll see next, we aren't dealing with the decimal point moving forward. So the function that I made is this this file right here, seg digit or sep digit, separate digit. I couldn't think of a better name for it. Okay, and this is the second version. Just made some corrections. The first version I did in Python on the Raspberry Pi before moving it over to the Raspberry Pi Pico, and there was some thing with a bracket, I think was the only change. So it's using this function sep and taking in a number, and I'm taking that number and I'm just throwing it to a variable w, just because as I was doing this, a one-letter variable was a lot more useful, and I'm leaving it that way. So what I'm doing is I'm rounding the number with 0 decimal points, and then I'm casting that to an integer. The reason I'm doing this is that the temperature coming off of the temperature probe module that I made will give a floating point number. So we're making this a decimal point, so the decimal point isn't going to matter. It's going to be a temperature either in Celsius or Fahrenheit from 0 to whatever number. I am not doing negative numbers at this point, or negative degrees. That could be something that could be added on at a later time. So this will return a list, and the 3 values that it'll add is MSD, the most significant digit, NSD, the next significant digit, and LSD, the least significant digit. Yeah, NSD, I just had to come up with something to call it. Now for the most significant digit, we're taking that number W, we're subtracting the modulus of that number. So if it's, or the modulus divided by 100, so if it's 100, it will return 1. If it's 102, we'll return 1. And then we're dividing that by 100. Now, the other two are a little bit more convoluted. And I originally took this basic principle and I had it expanded it out, and then using algebra broke it down to make it so it wasn't as long, but also not as readable to break down exactly what's happening. And there's different ways to break this down. So this is just my method. You can go look through the math. I'll be putting this on the GitHub repository. And then you can take a look at it and make changes as you need, or start from scratch, because the way I'm doing it is just too convoluted for yourself. Now from here, it's returning that, I believe Python calls it a list. It's going to be the most significant digit as it cast as an integer, again, in case any of these converted to a floating point. I think in one of my earlier versions it did, so I just left it there. I don't know if it still does. Then it'll cast the next significant digit as an integer and the least significant digit as an integer. And as you can see, simple program, 16 lines. Most of those are comments and spaces, really. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Could have added it to one of the other modules, and maybe I will in the future, but for clarity, I'm keeping it separate. From here, we go into the RPL. We will import sep digit, and then we will run it. Let's just something simple. 100 returns a 1, a 0, and a 0. We do 105, same thing. And now if we do 99, it puts a 0 and then 99. Now if we put 199, that first digit will become a 10. In the future, I'm going to add some type of error catch that if the number is over 9, to ignore it or send an error. But we'll, for right now, it's assuming you're putting a 1 to 3-digit number. Now, each of those numbers, you can numbers equals sep digit dot sep, and we'll just go with 1, 2, 3. Okay. And now if we were to print numbers, make sure we put the brackets on it, we'll print numbers. Now we can then go ahead and separate each of those numbers out, and to do that we would add the brackets. So we can put numbers, brackets, numbers 0, and we'll print 1. You can go through and print 1, and it'll be 2, and it'll be
Yep, there is no 2, so 2 would be 3. So now we want to go ahead and change numbers to 4, 5, 6. Then we can go through and the second number will, or the last number will be 6. The using the sep digits, sep 14145. It will bring out that digit. So you can use this inline, which I hadn't seen in any of the Python or MicroPython tutorials I've seen. I've actually discovered this by accident. That was part of my little hesitation. I didn't remember if I knew exactly how to do that. So you can separate the digits out. So if the temp equals, say, 97.5, we can throw that into here with the temp, and it rounds it up. Again, I'm using the round function and not the in function initially. So 97.5 would round the last digit, because without this, without the 2, it would be 0, 9, and 8. Whereas if I took this temperature and I made it 0.4, it would be 97. So after 0.5, it would round it up. So now on the next video, again, taking the temperature from the temperature probe, running it through the Raspberry Pi Pico, and then having it run through this sep digit function, and taking the output from there to go into the 8-segment displays and displaying the temperature. At that point, we could make a file called main.py, and with main.py we can run this without being connected to a computer. It'll just be running this, and we can set it to check it every minute, every 30 seconds, every second if we wanted to, but that would be a little excessive. So we can run it into a battery pack. If you've missed any of the other videos, there is a playlist which will be showing on the screen, and if you like the content, please subscribe, and I will be seeing you in the or you'll be seeing me in the next video. Thank you for watching.